Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the podcast show for the average Joe, the Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host, Mitchell Roulane. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and all the other streams that host podcasts. Please leave us a review. It's very important. It helps us grow and get us out to more listeners and to more people getting into our content. You know, makes the algorithm show up better as well. Also, for the video content, go to YouTube, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more content. We release once a week at least, videos on Wednesday and audios on Tuesday. Or I guess I should have said that in the other order, whatever. We talk to people from regular society about the things they struggle with and what they wrestle with and how they can overcome, you know, all those demons under their bed and monsters in their closets and stuff like that. Today, I have a really old colleague and friend that we worked together in another lifetime, Mr. Alonzo Taylor. Alonzo, what's up, brother?
Man, this is like a scream I used to hear when Tennessee beat Alabama 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like I told you before, I wore my Roll Tide shirt for you.
Hey, I'm down, man. I give up. Saban's the best.
He is. Yeah. I feel like nobody at this point, whether you're an Alabama fan or not, cannot argue that this guy is the greatest like college coach of all time.
Of all time.
I mean, there's even arguments that he might be the greatest coach just in general of all time. Like he's in that list.
He is
in that argument. But
I've never seen. At my age would never thought that he's doing what he's doing at today's time. You know, back in the days when you had Florida State and Miami and Nebraska, they was on a tear too. But what he's doing at this date and time with players transferring, you got everybody has a top-notch facility, and he's doing it.
What do you think that his strongest suit is? Is it in coaching? Is it in getting recruits? Is it like what is it like that makes him the best? Would you say, in your own professional opinion?
It's just all the above. But the main thing he does that what every program strives to do is he get players. And he's developed the players and get them ready to go into the National Alabama Football League. And, you know, it's not the fact I'm doing, you know, I'm going to give, let's throw away this Tennessee stuff. I'm just going to be real. Hey, you know, the man, what he's doing, I'm not hating. I'm just telling the truth. He's developing players and he's getting ready for the NFL. That sells a program. So if you can go to a 5-star recruit and say, hey, man, if you come here, it's a strong chance you're going to go to the NFL. And I can back it up because you know what? On NFL draft day, in the first round, Bama.
Yeah.
Bama. It sells your program.
Right, because then these kids are like, oh, I can live my dreams and be a professional star. And, yeah.
And you get players that get in the pros and they don't do as good. So, you know, they can't, you know, if a coach like Bill Belichick, if you can get, and that's why him and Bill Belichick so close, because they got the same mentality, the same system, and it works.
Yeah, except like for Saban, because he's in college, I feel like he's got more control over the players, the students, the program, whereas, you know, like you're in the professional leagues, you're working with people that are doing this for a living now. So and then you also have management, the people that manage and own the teams and stuff like that.
And you can play the what-if game. It's got to be meant to be because he was at the Dolphins and he left. The coach that was going to be at Alabama, well, Mike Price, we all know what happened there.
Yeah.
And, you know, the other list of coaches after, you know, that was there that didn't work out. And it's just like they didn't even see Nick Saban coming there, and it's just a marriage made in heaven, man.
Yeah.
And it's been like the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick marriage. It was just, this is going to be the new dynasty, and if you don't like it, too bad, but you're going to have to say roll tide or just deal with it, man.
Yeah. What you were saying before is like he develops talent. That's very important because like early on, especially even when he was like won a couple of national championships, people were still screaming, "Man, he's good," but really it's just he knows how to get recruits. He just gets the best players, which is true.
True.
But he does develop talent, even talent that's not highly recruited, because his first national championship in 2009, he won with the majority of people that was recruited by some other guy.
And
they weren't top recruits around the nation, but they won a national championship, and some of them are in the NFL.
And that's how you build a program. You build a program by developing players and putting them in the National Football League, and them finishing school, doing the right thing. And man, I'm telling you, it's gonna work. Only thing that shocked me was I didn't think that it would be on this level. I knew he was gonna win some national championships. I told my friends, like, get ready, because Alabama's gonna be really good for a while. But I didn't think it was gonna be this long. So he's the man.
It's all we got here in the state. It's college football. We got no professional football teams, basketball teams, baseball teams.
UAB kick off their first home game downtown. They say October the 6th. Nice new stadium.
Oh, okay.
We got Auburn with a new coach. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And the Barons aren't very great.
Yeah,
that's a really good time. And going to what is it, Regensfield?
Yeah,
you ever go out there?
No, I haven't been out there in a while.
It's fun. I mean,
it's nice though. It is,
unless you don't like seeing them lose. And then
they hadn't had a good season this year.
No, I mean, I don't. Have they ever had a good season?
They used to.
I don't really keep up with them that much. I just go there with friends to have a drink and hang out.
Get a couple of beers.
Honestly, the only time I get serious about baseball is with the Braves. But I'm going to tell you, I took a break this season. Last season, they broke my heart when they made it into the finals, and they were up 3-1, or was it 3-2? And then they let who was it? They ended up winning the series. Why am I drawing a blank here? Anyways, they let them come back and beat them, and then they ended up not sweeping, but they beat. Oh my gosh, I can't. Can you pull it up, Matt? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank here. The World Series from last year. Anyways, after that they broke my heart, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break from baseball for a little bit.
Well, it was tough watching any sports last year. It was all with the pandemic.
Oh right, yeah.
And football was beyond strange watching it with no crowds, no bands, no nothing. It was just like watching scrimmages and practices. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. And the season after the Cowboys had, it was even more bizarre. I was like, I'm done. When Dak broke his leg, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah. Are the Cowboys ever going to be relevant again?
Well, I don't know. But I do know when your quarterback breaks his ankle, that's not a good sign that you're going to have a good season, because Andy Dalton was definitely not the answer.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a quarterback, it's really hard to compete in today's NFL if you don't have a quarterback. And I don't know if Dallas will ever be the same. Jerry Jones, that's his fault. He had the best coach in probably the history of college football. National championships in Miami and winning Super Bowls, but that wasn't good enough. You wanted more credit, so you fired him.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't get enough credit, because you want to have all the power. So they call it the curse of Jimmy Johnson. So we have been in 25 years, and you're a Cowboy fan. I
am.
So
unfortunately for me,
last time you was 5 years old, this is the last time we was relevant. But then I said,
that's what I grew up on, is the series that they won with Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, and Deion Sanders.
But guess what, Mitch? All of those are Hall of Fame players.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas don't have those right now. Now everybody's on the Cowboys talking about how bad they are. Okay, they are. We haven't won a Super Bowl 25 years, but we still have 5. They're dusty. Everybody tells me that. I last checked. It took Kansas City 50 years to win 1.
That's very true.
It took the Eagles 50 years to win 1. Now, let me start with the Atlanta Falcons. They've never won 1. The Carolina Panthers have never won. Never. I'm talking about teams never won a Super Bowl.
They got close.
Buffalo,
right?
They never won. Buffalo Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Never won 1. Miami Dolphins hadn't been in a Super Bowl since 1985. The Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since I was born in 1969.
Jeez.
So, it's, you look at things and you say, you know what, it's been a while, but I take my dusty ass trophies and I keep it. I go brush them off and brass them up, but at least I got them, because you know what? You can't win a Super Bowl every year, Mitch.
That's very
but this
true.
is my team. I'm riding to die with them. So
I agree.
You know?
I'm same. I didn't want to flip flop. I grew up on the Dallas Cowboys, just like I grew up on the Atlanta Braves.
They
right?
were good.
I feel like they're both very similar.
Right.
They're both world champions in the mid '90s, and then from there they kind of had a couple sparks here and there.
Yeah. Won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. In 2000, and when Troy Aikman and Emmitt and all them left, they fell off.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to replace the top running back in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
That's Emmitt Smith.
Right.
Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer. Troy Aikman, Hall of Famer. Jay Novacek, Larry Allen, Eric Williams. I mean, come on, man. These are Hall of Fame players. You just don't go pick them out at Walmart and throw them in your basket and say, go win a Super Bowl.
Should be a sports analyst, Alonzo.
I've been told
for real. You
I've
can You can start a podcast on this, man.
They've been telling me that for years, but man,
you got a lot of knowledge. You got a good idea and a good intelligence for this stuff.
Yeah, I watch it, man. I know about it, but man, lately it's been about health and trying to get the family. That's what it's been about, family and health.
Yeah.
So,
what would you say your favorite sport is? Is it football?
Oh,
clearly?
absolutely.
And you played college ball, didn't you?
No, I didn't play college.
Oh, okay. You played high school.
I played high school, little league. I mean, I was all right, you know.
Yeah.
I got hit in the knee when I was in high school, and that's why it's messed up now, you know. But I wasn't like no all-state player or nothing like that. But I was a player, you know. I was just, I'm just out there playing football, you know.
Nice.
I played my junior and senior year, you know. But man, I just always loved football. It was like when I was a little boy, man.
Yeah.
I got that football for Christmas and the little uniform, and I was sold.
Yeah. Even for people that don't really like sports that much, like the concept of like team sports and competition, I feel like is good for people.
It's good
because it teaches you discipline.
Yes.
It teaches you structure. It also teaches you teamwork. You work with somebody as a cohesive unit,
exactly,
for a common goal. Exactly. And then when you win, it just feels so good.
Much good.
Jeez,
and then the thing is, losing feels when you then sweat and bled and fought with somebody you done lost. You have a feeling on that end too.
Yeah.
So that's the important part. Like you said, it teaches you things about. You're like, man, can football teach me about life? Yes, it can.
Yeah.
And you can go out there and you can be in 110 degrees outside with equipment on, about to pass out, hitting each other all day, sweat, blood, and tears, man. And it carries on when you play like against a team. You might win. My junior year, we lost to Hewittown. On the last play of the game was up 6-0 the entire game.
Oh, wow.
And the last play of the game, Mitch, they scored a touchdown and beat us.
Oh, man.
We was in that locker room, man. I ain't never felt no hurt like in pain. I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
But you gotta, everybody's sitting there and one of the players say, look, we gotta get up because life goes on.
Right.
And that's things like it toughens you up, man. It just I can't explain it. It's just it's good. It's good. I wish that it don't have to be football and a team sport. People can just get into it, and it helps. It helps.
Who'd you play high school ball for?
Banks.
Oh,
Yeah, they tore it down about a week.
Oh no! Does that make you feel some kind of way?
Yeah. Especially since Woodlawn, our arch rival, was getting a new stadium.
Oh, damn.
But man, I love the memories there. Man, you can't trade the memories and the people you'll take with you for the rest of your life. And that's true. We still be on Facebook. You think we still in high school.
Nice. So you and I used to work at Sam's Club, the wholesale place that Walmart owns.
Right. Sam's Club in Hoover.
When did you start working there?
Man, I
feel like it was.
I started in 2000.
2000?
Yeah, I actually was in there like setting steel up and opened the store.
Oh wow! Yeah. I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, man, I was there when I got there. It was. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
It was nothing but an empty warehouse.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were with them from the very beginning. Yeah, those were the days, right?
Man,
being
those were the days. You're talking about
sports,
city, and sports, man. And then we had the Florida fan, the Alabama fans, the Auburns, the Tennessee. And boy, I missed the bakery in the morning when they used to cook those homemade croissants.
Oh yeah,
I used to love
and they'd hook us up with some.
Yeah.
That was good stuff, man.
And we had some fun times there too, man. It was
Yeah, I unceremoniously got fired from there. I don't mind telling about this story, you know, but I wanted to tell this because I want to tell you the story I told you before when we were coming in that relates to this. So I got into it with another fellow employee. I'll just say his name is Rick. I won't give a last name. We'll just say Rick, Slick Rick.
Okay.
And anyways, you know, I got into a little scuffle with this guy. He was. It's what's funny is like I was. Like we were chummy, like we were like, you know, we would like talk and like cut up or whatever. But he could also be an ass, like big time. And it was just one of those days. Like I was in a real bad mood, and then he was just being an extra bitch that day.
Yeah.
And then like some words were exchanged, and then I should have just walked away, but I didn't. And got in his face, and I shoved him up against a wall, and then we're like threatened to go outside and fight and all this stupidness. And then we both got canned from that. Anyways, you fast forward some time, a good friend of mine was dating this girl named Lynn, and she worked at a pharmacy at a Walmart. I want to say, I don't know if it was in Pelham or Hoover, somewhere in the nearby area. And my friend and his new girlfriend were hanging out with me and my girlfriend at the time. We were having like a little Christmas party get together. It was in December.
Right.
And this was like literally a couple weeks because I got fired at the beginning of like December, like during the Christmas time period. So it was perfect. Anyways, so we're sitting around and you know, talking about things, and my friend's girlfriend was like, yeah, the manager lady that I work with, she's being such a just lately. She's always complaining. Christmas is coming up, and she's so mad at her husband. She said, you know, he's an asshole. Like Christmas is coming up, and he got himself fired at his job because he got into it with some young dude, and it was pointless and silly. And she's been super mad, and she's been bitching about it for weeks now. And she's like, oh, I have to listen to it every day. She was like, I'm so glad you guys invited me over, and you know, I can have a drink and kind of chill out because that lady stresses me out. And I go, wait, like what? So what's the deal? She's like, oh, well, apparently her husband, he worked at some place in Hoover, and like he got into it with some guy and like got himself fired for almost getting into a fight or something.
Oh my.
And then I was like, wait, what's her husband's name? Or what's her name? And then I didn't recognize her name. I was like, do you know her husband's name? And she was like, yeah, her husband's name is Rick so-and-so. And I was like, why, what? That's the guy. I'm the other guy. And she was like, oh, I hate you. You're an ass. Because of you, I have to like listen to this lady bitch about this every day. And I was like, that is so funny. What a small world.
No, that was that person's fault because they pushed the button with not only you.
Yeah. Good old times.
Yeah, good times.
If this guy ever ends up listening to or watching this episode, I just want to say, hey, I know hard feelings, man. I don't like, who cares?
Yeah.
I like probably a few months after that, I was like, if I saw that guy, I would have probably went up to him and been like, hey, yeah, sorry about that. Like, I hate that we got fired about it, but you know, whatever. Sorry you lost your job too. Oh man.
So what's been going on with you, man? You married yet? You got any kids?
I am not married yet. You know, I'm
rush.
I'm the
enjoy life.
I'm living the starving artist life right now. I've literally learned how to make a living off of just hustling.
That's good.
Hustling. And that's kind of like what you're doing. You work for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do, but I just do so many different things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn this podcast into one of my main hustles, if you get my drift.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just working on a lot of creative projects. Like I just realized for the longest time, man, I can't work for anybody. I don't like being told what to do. And like, especially if I work for somebody that doesn't either is not as smart as me or smarter. And I'm not saying I'm a really smart guy,
right?
But I'm just saying like those people usually if they're not on your level and they're like a level below you, like mentally wise, then they shouldn't be giving like you like advice or telling you what to do, right?
Right.
It'd be like you listening to like your kid brother.
I can do
like
this better myself and make money for myself, whereas listening to you.
Yeah.
You just feel like you want to put it on you and not somebody else.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to be the man that can to say what I need to do and what I need to do, and then I can get paid for it. And you know, you're not dependent upon people to make or break you.
Yeah. I you know, there's a lot of people that have came along in my life that I've worked with, like superiority wise.
Yeah.
And there's only a very small number that I can count on one hand that I respected and I would follow into battle. Because I liked their mentality. They were very logical, very pragmatic about stuff.
Right.
You know, they weren't a pushover, but they also weren't like a jerk off about things. And they had a good vision for things. You know? And this might sound pretentious or whatever. I guess I don't care, but it's just like I don't. You know, I just realized the point is like I realized that I want to do my own thing. I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. I want to like create my own stuff, and it's just so much harder to do this, but it's so much more rewarding.
Absolutely.
And I'd rather like kind of like have days where I go a little hungry, but not have to deal with like stuff that I just don't want to deal with.
The garbage,
you know.
Garbage. My favorite
garbage,
word?
Yeah, garbage bowl. When two crappy teams are playing in the postseason,
that's my favorite.
That's
word.
The garbage bowl.
The garbage. Yeah, I remember you say the garbage bowl.
Yeah, but what about you, man? You're like working for yourself. And stuff
working
now.
for myself. It's been the last Mitch since from 2019 to just the last couple of months, man. It's been a battle. That's why I was like, man, it's been wrestling. I mean, it's been a wrestle with life, with the pandemic. For me, my father passed and my mother had a stroke at the same time, simultaneously almost. So I was going to Grandview Hospital and going to St. Vincent. So she had a stroke where she could not, she's not able to walk anymore.
Oh my God.
And he had esophagus cancer. And by the time he got diagnosed with it, he only had like 4 weeks to live. And it was, the doctor said, when the doctor comes into the room at the cancer treatment center and looks at you and say, you have on the high end 3 to 4 weeks to live, man, you really start thinking about a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
So that's what he told us. And he passed. And then my mother, you know, she was like tied up like with the hospital and nursing home because of the pandemic. And so, you know, it's been, whoo. But I've been praying, man. I just pray, stay God in my faith. It's been one of the toughest things I probably had to deal with in my life.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it was tough. You know me now. Even you know me when I tell you something like this. And then on top of that, my first cousin passed.
Oh,
and then my other cousin. So I had like 4 or 5 relatives die in about a 5 or 6 months period. And
this is all in the midst of the pandemic.
Like the pandemic hit in the spring. When in the spring of 20?
I think it was late March.
Yeah, late March
started
20.
coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
early April.
From the time the pandemic hit, I had like 3. Let me see. My father died. My first cousin died, and my mother had the stroke. And so all that was going on. And I was like, wow. You know, so I just have to stay strong. Then that's why I think my health started declining as far as my hip and knee, because man, I was just trying to make money, trying to see them, and my health started going down. So, because I couldn't go to the gym, no more gyms, no more swimming zone, no more hot tubs zone, no more saunas, no nothing. So I had a good friend of mine, 28. He had a pool, and I swam, kept me going. I was blessed that I call him 28 because we play high school football with each other.
I got you.
But that man literally saved my life. So thank God out to him. But on top of that, it was just the struggle, man, of life. I was like, man, this is real. You know, this is what it's really about. So, you know, you just never know. And I'm just blessed to be here. My mother contracted COVID, didn't do nothing to her. And my aunt, I think she had some little symptoms.
Yeah.
I had to go get tested. I didn't have any symptoms. So
you're a 28 friend guy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you save your life?
Kept me active.
Okay.
Kept me moving.
You're speaking generalities.
Yeah, like he had a pool. I could swim now because all the gyms were closed.
Yeah.
And they had a facility for me to do some kind of workout regimen. to do something because he had like a little smaller gym at that little place. And,
I wish I would have. We would have been kept up with that point because not all the gyms were closed. The gym that I go to, the guy that owns it, his name's Wayne. I don't know what his last name is, but it's 24E.
Oh, 20. That's out in Hewitttown.
No, there's one in Pelham. There's one in Hoover. There's one in Trussville.
Just right.
There's one in downtown somewhere. Right. But it's not, he's turned it into a health club now because he's really spreading. Because there's a really great gym, but he's like super right wing, conservative Republican type guy. So he was like, "Oh, what? I'm not. This is fake or whatever. I don't know." But the point is like he kept his gyms open. And you could wear a mask if you wanted to, but you didn't have to.
Oh, God.
So if I would have known you, if we would have been keeping up with each other, I could have told you, hey, this gym's open. Well, come in here with your mask, and you can still swim in the pool.
God, I hated working out with that mask on, and it's so hard.
You really can't.
You can't.
I see people still doing it, and I get it. I mean, you're trying to stay protected, but my point is like,
I can't breathe.
If you're that worried about it, then you probably shouldn't be going out in public, right? Or you need to be getting in line to get your vaccine. Very important.
Right.
Because like you have to breathe, especially when you're lifting weights or you're running on the treadmill. You need oxygen. And when there's something covering your mouth, man, you're not getting enough oxygen. You're getting, what is it?
It kills your workout.
Carbon dioxide's like filling you up. So
and so, hey, that's what I was dealing with. Like you said, if I had known you, but everything. The world was crazy about a year ago.
It was wild.
Just
I was
so much,
I was scared.
the pandemic. Then we had all this racism, and
I know,
it was just terrible, man.
Like the dam just broke.
It did
last year.
It did, and I'm so blessed to that I hope it's gonna be better, and I think things are trending better, and we all went through some, and everybody learned from that. So, and we just need to just keep working on that and keep trying to get better, mentally and physically. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what I want to do, get better. And that's my thing, so I'm trying to lose this COVID weight. If I can drop me about 25 pounds in 2 months, I'll be happy. So that's what I'm working on, trying to get myself better, getting ready for the surgery, and just taking it easy.
So what's the surgery you're about to get?
A hip replacement.
Ooh, nice. Were you getting that done at?
UAB.
Okay.
UAB. And like I said, I just saw Dr. Feelgood yesterday and got the cortisone shot. And I feel like I could just run a marathon right now. But
for people out there listening that don't know what cortisone shots are, explain that to people, what it does and how it helps.
Well, it helps you move. It helps you get around. It takes away the pain. When you're dealing with, when you go to a doctor's office and they say, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your pain level? And you don't even think about 10. You think about 100 off the top. It's at 100. I can barely walk. I mean, I was like going into Walmart, I go to the grocery store. First thing before I go to the grocery store, you know me, shoot, I'm grabbing me a grocery cart so I can walk. I ain't getting on an electric scooter. So I go in there and then I shop and I get in my car. I was like, man, that was a battle. Yeah. I was like, I can't believe this. I was like, it's like, it took like all of me just to go in there and shop and get some food. And so that's the kind of pain I was in. So.
Yeah, I know a guy that's like a biker. He has like really arthritic hands. He gets the cortisol shots into his knuckles.
But it's like I feel absolutely nothing right now. Nothing.
That's good.
It's temporary. It's temporary. So I asked my man, my 28. I was like, look, 28. Yeah.
You legit call him that?
Yeah.
28. I like it
because it's a reason. He got them state records for them interceptions.
Oh, right.
In high school, so I just called him. Yeah, he got the state record right now in interceptions.
Nice.
So I was like, when I get my knee replacement, my hip replacement, and I got to get a knee too. But when I get, I was like, when I get it, will I feel like I'm feeling now? He was like close to it. I'm like, oh, I'm bad, man. I was like, oh God. I can't wait. He said it's gonna be good for me because he said I preserved myself.
Yeah.
So he said you've been preserving yourself. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. You'll be like you said earlier on when we were talking. You'll be like the Bionic Man.
I'm serious. I'm really, Mitch. I know you're laughing, but by the time I get 55, you're gonna be like, is that the same guy that was 52 or is he 40?
You hit the weight.
And then when
the
time I hit 60, you're gonna be like, is he really 60? I can't believe this.
Yeah, this guy's jacked.
Yeah.
He's jacked. He looks better than
it's
he
like
is in
the
his 20s.
new old man look.
Right, yeah.
And it's really not that. It's not about that. It's just about just maintaining and trying to get better. Because, man, I can't tell you how many people I see die from cancer and diabetes and classmates and just people I know just having problems. I mean, it's like so many people, it's about 4 people in my family alone. Cancer, uncle, lung cancer, father, esophagus cancer, grandmother, diabetes. My mother, right now, she had the stroke. She's dealing with that from hypertension.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing, man.
Yeah, that's why I always try to preach to people to like take care of themselves and like exercise, eat healthy. I mean, you don't have to be
Get massages.
Yeah, you don't have to be crazy. Oh, I need one of those. But like you don't have to be crazy with it, but just a little bit of exercise every week. Eat, like substitute water over just drinking a soda, or have a salad instead of fries with your burger. Just a little change goes a long way. Yeah,
moderation's everything.
Because I mean, like one thing about COVID now, COVID hit the worst with people with underlying health issues.
Exactly.
Like I mean, it got people that were real healthy and made them sick, even killed some people. But like people that were like overweight, had diabetes, had sicknesses, had lung issues,
fighting with cancer. Yeah,
that's where it really tore people up. And I'm like, man, why aren't they preaching more about like, get the vaccines out there, get people inoculated and stuff, but also why not try to tell people, hey, you need some exercise, you need some vitamin D, you need some sunlight, you need to eat some vegetables, you need to drink a little bit more water, take some vitamins. Like they never talk about that stuff, but that stuff. Self-preservation, man. Self-preservation. It's really important. Like your health is, I feel like you owe it to yourself so you can live long and feel good, but also to the people around you, right?
Exactly.
So like I saw like a grandpa the other day. You were talking about being like older and being in shape. This guy looked like he just looked great. First of all, he had great physique, and he was out there in a park, and he was playing with, I assume it was his grandkids. He had the whole grandfather aura about him. He's playing with these kids, and he was running with them. He was picking the kids up, throwing them in the air, and he had biceps on. I was like, man, this guy, and he's just healthy. He's got white hair. He looks like he's like 65, but he just looked great. And I was like, why can't everybody like pitch to want to be like that? People feel bad all the time, but if you were like doing stuff to make your body feel good, then you'll feel good.
Exactly.
Right? And then if you have like, I don't know, psychological health issues, you can like, focus on that primarily instead of like, oh, I got to deal with psychological issues. And also like, I feel very lethargic and terrible already. I know a lot of people that have like depression, but they're kind of overweight. Right.
Right.
And some of those people, when they end up like dieting or exercising, they end up a lot of that depression, they realize it's less here and more here, right?
It's so many things.
Like your body is this instrument, and if you don't take care of it, then it's not going to sound good.
And there's so many things that we in this world do besides take care of ourselves. We so worried about the car or the house or the woman or the man, women think, men think, everything's worried about. When the last time you went and had a good massage? When the last time that you went in a sauna and sat there for 20 minutes?
Oh, God, I love going to sauna.
Oh, my God.
It's good. It's very therapeutic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Man.
I like to push myself, too, when I go in there. I do.
How long can you stay? What's your longest time, Tell?
Let's see. It's been a while since I hit my record. I think the longest I ever sat in a sauna, and it was at about close to 200.
Yeah.
Was
you are a beast.
I said close to 200. It was probably like 190.
Yeah, I was like 180.
I want to say a little over an hour, just under like maybe an hour.
Man, I'm gonna
10,
be like you on
something like that, just slightly over an hour. But I remember, I set my time I was supposed to get out of there like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And really that was me being more optimistic about it, because I usually try to suffer through 30 minutes of it. But I was like, I'll do this extra 15. Then when I got to 15, I was like, why don't I just do an extra 15?
Yeah, you're like, I'm feeling it now, right?
Yeah, dude, it was, I almost passed out. I was like, but yeah.
And then when you get out, like the one,
the cool air hits your body.
And I'm fortunate, the one in Pelham, they have the pool and a sauna and a steam room and a hot tub all in one place.
Nice.
Are you kidding me?
That's
so you
good.
got that sauna, then you get in that cold water. Then I get out the cold water, out the pool, get in the hot tub, sit in there, then get out the hot tub, go back in the pool, then go in the steam room.
Nice.
And the steam room is good too.
Mm-hmm.
And man,
Strengthens your lungs.
I sleep like a baby at night.
I bet.
It is so nice. It is so nice. And I wish I had been doing that all them years that I was at Sam's talking about Tennessee. And the Cowboys.
Oh
And so I was like, I could have been doing this instead of sitting there watching these losers.
So funny. So you still stand behind Tennessee just as much as you stand behind Dallas?
Let me tell you something. I'm still a Tennessee fan.
You got your Vols shirt still? You wear your Vols hoodie in the winter?
I don't rep them not near like I used to, man, because they going through some things, man. And it's really it's Phil Foreman started it with the snitching stuff on Alabama, and then he brought the program to that point of national championship, then it went in decline. And then they start going through coaches like Alabama, Lane Kiffin. That didn't work one year. Then you get Derek Dooley, Mr. Orange Pants. That was hilarious. He used to wear those tight orange pants.
That guy was so hilarious.
And just because his dad was a great coach, that don't mean your son's a great coach. Yeah. Tennessee suffered through those years, man. And they were cheap at getting a coach. I mean, you got to spend money. And Alabama said, you know what? We finna break the bank and get really serious about football. We tired of Dennis Franchonis and Mike Prices and Don Shula's. We finna go get the best available coach. Tennessee didn't do that. So Tennessee is going through things. You know, they got it's gonna be a while for them to be back.
Yeah.
They on the trajectory right now. Now they about to be on probation because Jeremy Pruitt, the coach that was just there last year from Alabama, he got fired, and they said some NCAA violations that Tennessee is going to be charged with.
Something I've always wondered, and I might have asked you this back in the day when we were working together, maybe. I've just forgotten, but you're born and bred in Alabama?
No, I'm born in Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, okay, yeah. Chicago, I like it.
Yeah, but I've been here most of my life.
Okay, because I was about to say, I thought that, like, because you played for Banks or whatever here in Alabama, I was like, you're a unicorn, because, like, you're a guy raised in Alabama and all that stuff, and you're neither Alabama or Auburn. You went for Tennessee, but now I realize you're not even a true Alabamian.
Now, it's a reason did I ever tell you the reason why I'm a Tennessee fan?
Probably, but I don't remember.
Okay, the reason I'm a Tennessee fan, my best friend, Mr. Holloway, he's gone. He died back in 2006, 2007. His uncle actually played at Tennessee. His name was Condrich Holloway, and this was back in the 70s. Okay. He was the first African-American quarterback to play in the SEC.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he used to be like, back in the days, my dad and mom, they always been an Alabama fan, and I was like, they was like, you gonna be an Alabama fan? I was like, okay, and I liked Alabama at a point when I was younger.
Sure.
But then, I was like, Auburn's okay, they cool, but he was like, man, my cousin is at Tennessee doing it. He played at Tennessee. And I just started watching him, and I said, man, that's cool, because what I liked about it, his name was Condrich Holloway. He was actually from Huntsville, Alabama. Bear Bryant recruited him to Alabama and said, look, you can come to Alabama, but I just can't guarantee you're going to quarterback.
Right.
And Condrich said, you know what, I'm going to go to Tennessee.
Where I can play
And, Bear was honest with him. So he went to Tennessee, and he was a good quarterback. They didn't win that championship. So when my friend passed, I just feel a connection with him in that. But right now, he probably rolling over in his grave. But that's the reason I'm a Tennessee fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still have that Tennessee chair, Matt? For the longest time, he had this this little chair of his that broke down. He was sitting.
Oh,
on
he evolved too?
No.
Oh,
but so his chair ripped, and then he had to get a replacement. And I came in here one day, and it was a Tennessee Volunteers, and I was like, dude, what is this? Well, Matt, what's the story behind that chair?
Yeah, tell me.
No, he's not a football fan at all. He doesn't care about sports.
Yeah, he don't care. Period.
Yeah. What was the reason why you had that Tennessee chair again?
I just found it on the cheap.
Oh, he found it at like a
garage
sale or something.
$2.
Needed a chair, and I can't sit in those anymore because they are really bad on my back. If you ever get one of those, just pass it by. Just don't even
What
Don't
kind
even-
of chair is it? It's like the one that has like the ring around it, and it's like the cloth that just kind of holds you in there like a hammock almost. I don't know what you call
Terrible.
it.
Don't ever sit on them.
But yeah, he was for a long time, for like half the year. He was in that Tennessee Volunteers fan, and we'd have some guests that come in like, "Oh, you a Volunteer fan?" And then he wouldn't even know what they were talking about. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
what is this?
And they're like,
Like,
oh, the chair." And he was like, "Oh no, I needed a new chair, so
Right,
this is
yeah.
what I got."
See, Matt, you got to be careful down here in the South. Like when you rep a college team, people are gonna say something. I had
yeah.
flip flops, anything. You a Tennessee? You a Florida fan? You a Auburn fan?
Yeah.
People, you know, and especially niggas close.
It's gang warfare here.
Yeah,
man.
it is, man. And people love their football here.
You're wearing your colors. That's what it is.
Yeah, colors.
Repping your colors. Colors. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. It's all we got though. I mean,
Mhm.
can you blame us? That's all we got. We don't have.
He said that's all we
We
got.
don't have movie stars. We don't have pro
No.
teams. We got college football. That's it.
And so
That's it.
also, I meant to tell you, did I tell you I stay in Shelby County now?
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Whereabouts in Shelby County?
in a little small town called Columbiana.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
sister lives out off of Lay Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a little
Awesome.
bit further that way.
Man,
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. The city life. I've been in Birmingham pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
It's so nice and quiet and peaceful. I see cows.
Yeah, I was gonna
see
say it's out in the
horses.
country.
It's out there in the country, but you know what? When a man my age, you get my age, that's all I want is peace and quiet.
I got you.
And I love it. And I can get to the action, and like it takes me like 45 minutes to get to Birmingham. I need to get there. I can get, if I feel bored, but right now it's like, man,
Did
are
you-
you serious?
You knew that about it moving out there initially? Oh, this is a quiet place.
Well,
just
I
wanna
had a
get away from the
friend
city.
was out there, and then one day I went out there to do an Uber to pick up someone,
Mhm.
and they didn't show up. And I just put an application out there, this apartment complex, man, and I couldn't believe what she said, how much cheap it was, and I was like, wow.
The taxes out there are really low too, aren't
Yeah.
they? Isn't it like 6% or something?
Yeah, when I got my car tag last, it was like $40 cheaper than me getting in Birmingham. And then it was no line. Like the courthouse and City Hall is like less than 1 mile from my house.
Yeah.
So at the post office, it's like Mayberry, the post office right there, the grocery store, City Hall. You don't have to stand in lines. You don't have to. I love it.
Yeah, my sister, she keeps always trying to preach to me about moving out there. And
Well, you may not want to get into it right now.
well,
with your age,
see,
but-
with my age, and then
Yeah.
also what I'm trying to do,
right.
I'd probably be better like moving into like Avondale or something like that.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't want to like have a place out there because
Yeah.
like, I could put like a trailer out there on her property.
Well,
And she just bought, her and her husband, my brother-in-law, just bought this really nice double wide,
Mm.
and it's like almost $100,000 trailer, but they got it for like $80,000 or something.
right.
They just got it in on the market, like really good. But like the inside looks like a barn, like a kind of a
Mhm.
farmhouse. It's real nice, and they have it facing the lake, so her back door, which is these sliding doors,
that's
just
awesome.
they get to see the sunrise off of Lay Lake every morning. And I was like, dang, I don't like
Man,
it. Almost every time I go visit, I'm like,
nah, you
I
ain't
don't
ready for
know.
that yet. But hey, you
I'm not-
will when you get. Look, Birmingham's finna boom when this stadium opens up and UAB starts playing
oh yeah,
and things get back to normal. Really, full 100% normal. Birmingham is
Oh, yeah.
really finna start.
yeah.
I
The
think
economy
it's
is gonna pop. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good down there, man.
It is.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's
It's
perfect. That's why with us growing this podcast, I think
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to integrate that into that.
Right.
It'll be good. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man.
But I'm gonna get to the deeper part of the show. You asked me before about why is it called the Wrestling Diaries, and
Uh-huh.
we'll get into that now because I'm
Okay.
gonna ask you the things that you wrestle with. Although you kind of already discussed a lot of that, man, with your health issues and just dealing with the pandemic and just your family tragedies and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But the concept of the show is, and most people always think it's about professional wrestling,
No.
and it's not. But I will say, though, the name is partially inspired by pro wrestling because when me and Matt were younger, we had a backyard wrestling, like little fight club going on.
right.
And we created these characters and the silliness. And I have an idea to write a book, a piece of fiction
Mhm.
about one of these characters. And he's like the boss of the company. And he gets like committed to an insane asylum because he's crazy by his son. And then he's in this like asylum and all he has is this journal. and he writes down in it about the things he's dealing with,
Mhm.
how he hates his son, how he wants to come back for his empire, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like a double entendre meaning. It's like the story is about fictional wrestling,
Right.
you know, because this guy's like the owner of a professional wrestling company, but then it's also about him wrestling his own life and his own demons. And so I was like, oh, and I thought of the idea of that like years ago. And then when I was thinking about doing a podcast, I was like, you know, I want to have like regular guests on and talk to them about their lives
Yeah.
and like the things they wrestle with. And so
I
that's
love it.
that's
I
where the
love
name
it.
came from. The Struggling Diaries just did not have the same ring.
No, the
to it.
struggling.
The
but
Wrestling Diaries just has
hours.
like, you know,
Yeah.
it just has that pop. But,
Yeah. It does.
but yeah, man, what more specifically, I guess, because you gave a good summary of some things. What are the things that you wrestle with as a man? You know, as a person in this life.
Well, me with me, Mitch, it's unique. I'm a unique guy. Zoe's unique, and the reason Zoe is unique is that Zoe don't have any children. Zoe don't have any grandchildren.
Not that he knows of, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just messing with you. I'm just with you. I'm kidding. Any of his
But I'm
family
serious.
watches this. I'm just a joke.
Yeah, it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
It's just a
But-
joke. Wink, wink.
So at the end of the day, I got to learn how to take care of myself better, and you know, and I want to do that, and you know, with my mom, her situation, and it's you know, that's my thing. I wrestle with.
Do you help out with your mom and her
Yeah,
issues?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I help, but you know, it's been tough on her. It's been tough. They was married, man. Folks was married like 49 years.
Yikes.
And so just imagine.
What are their ages, if I can ask?
Well, my mom would be 72 on August 10th. My father was 73 when he
73.
passed.
Okay.
But God, what I forgot I was going to say. What was I talking about?
We were talking about you helping your mom.
Yeah,
with
my
her
mom,
issues.
just helping her. Like, my parents was married 49 years.
Mhm.
So imagine you being with somebody for 49 years and all of a sudden they just gone.
Yeah,
Poof.
it's tough.
And then you can't walk no more. Can you imagine?
That's wild.
And by the way, you can't leave the house for the next 9 months. Must have been through hell.
Yeah.
So I just, you know.
How's her spirits though? Does she keep good spirits?
She
about
keeps good
things?
spirits, but you know, I know it was tough on her. It's tough on me. It's tough on me because on both of us, and me I had to literally watch my father in the middle of the floor at 4:00 in the morning, just fall out, almost die. I mean, I had to call the paramedics to get him out the house. 6'9", about 275 pounds.
Oh, wow.
280, big man.
Yeah.
And it took
Jeez.
like 4 ambulance workers to get him out the bedroom and take him out
Mhm.
while he's going out the house, hearing him hollering and screaming in pain.
Mm.
She's in the hospital. So, man, I'm just
And
trying.
then on top of that, it's
Yeah.
hard to get in there because everything's closed and shut up. because of
And
the
this was
pandemic
right
stuff.
before this was before the pandemic.
okay, it's
Yeah,
right
but
before.
it's
Okay,
like,
okay.
you know, dealing with, you know, I just want my life to get better, her life. You know, I just pray, man, every day that, you know, it'll just get better. But, you know, it's tough. Like we talk about mental health, that's mentally, people don't realize how mentally tough that is to deal with that and other relatives. Like my first cousin's my favorite cousin.
Mhm.
And I had to sit in the hospital and watch her breathe her last breath.
Mm.
You know, you sit there and you watch stuff like that, man. It's, you know, you have to realize how short life is, and, you know, just, man, make the best of life while you
Right.
can. Life
Yeah.
is too short.
Amen to that.
So
That's why I always try to preach to people about that. Like you got to be in the moment, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm not a Buddhist or anything, but like the teachings of Buddha, it teaches you to be present, right? You can't live for the past because it's dead and gone, and you can't hope necessarily for the future because it might not belong to you. Like there
Right.
might not be a future. You have like what you have is right now. And
Right now.
you have to be present within oneself, and when you do that, like you find like more. Not to sound cheesy about it, but you find more beauty and acceptance about your own self and the
Right.
things that you know, things seem much more beautiful to you and enjoyable, and when you live that way. And it's hard to do. I mean, people deal with a lot of problems, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
People have financial problems and health problems. But
Yeah.
I mean, what I always try to tell people also is like, somebody's out there and they got it way worse than you. And sometimes you have to go there to appreciate your issues. And then when you think about, like, if you lost your job, you're hungry today because you didn't have enough money to buy food, or like your girl leaves you, whatever. But like, over in another country right now, like somebody's like, there's some little kid who doesn't know where their parents are, and they might die in a few days because they're hungry and they're walking through streets full of and piss.
Right.
And like that's happening everywhere.
Yeah. Be blessed at what you have. When you wake up in the morning, you can hear, you can see, you can talk, you can get up. People take all that for granted.
And I'm not like this like uberly like inspirational, motivational person, but like I'm just like, that is a real thing. Like for you to I feel like it's an ego smasher, right? Because when we always worry about our own problems, it's just like, like, I can't believe all this is happening to me and stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh, you've just got an ego. And they're like, what? I don't have an ego. I'm living in right now. I'm like, you're literally not living in there is people literally realistically living in right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
Yeah.
Like
it could be a lot worse.
Humble pie is delicious.
And then it is, because when you go through something, you know what it feels like and you respect it. You know, when you go through anything, people can tell you something all day, Mitch, but until you go through it and been through it, that's when you appreciate what they was telling you.
Yeah.
Experience.
I also try to like keep good levity and humor about things. Like I try to smile and laugh often, because it really is a good medicine.
Yeah,
I listen to a lot of comedians and I joke around a lot.
Man.
I laugh a lot. I find humor in just about everything.
I popped in, matter of fact, I popped in that the comedy roast, Alex Baldwin, Charlie Sheen, Donald Trump. I was laughing and it feels
they
good.
They get brutal, man.
They was getting brutal. Blake Griffin was on that. Blake Griffin is funny.
He actually is.
He's very funny.
You know who was deceptively funny to me? Peyton Manning.
Yep,
he killed it. I was like, man, I can't believe he's that funny.
Shaq's kind of funny too.
Yeah, Shaq's pretty funny.
Shaq funny, but it's good to laugh sometimes, man.
Really is.
It's like you make somebody make you cry, laugh, and man, that feels good.
It really does. It's a real.
I'd rather cry laughing than cry being sad.
Right. Yeah. What's that thing they say? You have to laugh to keep from crying.
Right.
I mean, it's real. Like it's a real medicine. Like laughter and humor. I talked to a buddy of mine from New Jersey. He's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. He's got like baby mama drama. He's not with the baby's mom, obviously.
Right.
He also moved. Him and his brother were supposed to start this business together, and then his brother just like 86'd out of the picture, and he doesn't return his calls, and like then on top of that, he thinks he might have got this girl he was fooling around pregnant. I think you know who I'm talking about, Matt. I won't give his name out or whatever, but he's in New Jersey. He has a podcast too. Anyways, he's dealing with a lot of crap. I haven't talked to him in a while, but we had a long conversation the other night, and he finished it off. He was like, man, he's like, I'm just trying to take your advice, and like, because I told him this once. I was like, I laugh a lot and smile a lot, and it's a really good hack to dealing with your problems, because you can't be laughing and giggling and having a good time and also be simultaneously depressed, upset, mad, or angry. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you should live that life. It's so much better. Don't take life so seriously. You shouldn't. Too many people do that, and that's why people are walking around stressed out with all this silly bullshit. And he told me the other night on the phone, he was like, man, I am dealing with a lot of stuff. He's like, but I'm trying my best to turn my tragedy into a comedy so that I can like, and I was like, that's actually a really interesting quote. Like, I want to steal that. Turn your tragedy into
a comedy. Right.
It's not like, I'm not saying like if your like mom dies or something, that's funny and hilarious, but I'm saying like you got to find the lightness in things.
Right.
So that you're not heavy burdened with all the heaviness, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty important. I'm not a professional. I'm just like some random guy just talking about this. This is my opinion based on that, and I'm pretty happy in life. Like I don't like, I don't really want for much. I have a lot of goals, a lot of big high goals, but even if I don't get them, like I'm happy.
Yeah, you got, because life, it's everything like I've been telling you about. That's all a part of life. Losing parents, sicknesses, friends dying, just things happening. It's just all a part of life that's gonna happen one day.
Sure.
So, it's just a matter of, just being prepared for it, just realizing this is a part of life, and hey, let's move on and get stronger from it. And it's, but sometimes it can be overwhelming because it can hit you at one time, at one time. And that's what you got to, that's when you really got to test your faith and be strong and pray.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. You just never know. So I'm just thankful, man. I'm just thankful, hey, I'm still here. Zoe's still here. He's still doing his thing. And I'm just trying to get better. That's all I want to do is get better.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen you in like a handful of years, but you haven't skipped a beat, man. Your personality, your pizzazz, it's all still there, man. You're still clicking. I know you having hip problems, knee problems, but like you on the inside, you're still there, dude. You're the same guy I remember from when I was like 18 working in there, and we're
I try to be consistent.
Busting each other's balls about college football.
And it's funny though, man. These days, I try, like some people like, Zoe, you too nice. So, but I'm like, man, I don't be, like, I can't help but to be who I am. I respect people, but now don't think you're going to run over me because I will snap. You remember, I will. But at the same time, everybody, I respect people, man. And this is the way I am. I can't help it, And, hey, that's just me.
Yeah.
So I just try to be the same, but some people are different these days. They 1 minute, the next day they something else, So my circle is real small, Mitch. I got some friends, man. I done had all my life, and I can name them on one hand.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I mean, I make new friends, but my closest friends, like Matt over here, we've been friends since we were children.
Yeah,
we grew up together.
You grew up. Yeah, my best friends. We grew up together, or it was somebody I met maybe like the same age I was, and 20, 30 years later, we still friends. I used to work with or something like that. Like I got, so like I said, my circle is small, but it's a powerful group. Right. It's a powerful unit.
So it's a quality over quantity.
I don't want to have a lot of people that ain't trying to help or won't really truly be a friend. Yeah. They just, I don't know.
Also, the more status that you attain in life, the more money and the more like high profile that you get, you end up finding that you have way more friends than what you really have. Like, wait, I don't have this. I'm not. Because people start attaching themselves to you.
People when you're up.
When you start turning some stones. But then when you're down, those people don't exist.
When you're down, that's when you truly know who's your friend.
Right, yeah, the people that stick with you with that.
And I got some people, man, on my team. It's a small team, but they some badasses.
Yeah.
and I love them for it.
What is Tupac Shakur said? The realest people don't have a lot of friends.
Right.
They don't have many friends or something.
Right.
That's what he said.
And he was dead on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's what I always try to tell people, like there's only one thing that you can 100% guarantee and count on when it comes to other people, that they're going to let you down.
Yeah.
Because people
don't put your faith in people, man. Put your faith in God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're not a believer, then I don't know what you're going to put your faith in. Something.
Yeah, because people, I mean, everybody's not perfect, but it's like we were saying, your friends, the ones in that small unit that you can pick up the phone and talk to them about anything. The ones that you've been friends with since you was a child, man. That's a blessing to have people like that in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
So I try to help them as much as they can, and Lord knows they've been helping me.
What would you say your ultimate goals are in life? Do you have any what's on the bucket list here? What are you looking forward to the future, man?
Man, my future right now, my ultimate goal is my health.
Okay.
My ultimate goal is to, when I hit 60, to be at my top health in my life.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about.
You gotta do a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I'm not talking about when I was in Sam's. Cause I wasn't doing none of that. What I'm doing now.
Yeah.
As far as going to the gym and all, I'm talking about I just want to be physically and mentally at my top. Because I've got to, because it's just me.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I don't have grandchildren or children or brothers, sisters, none of that.
Right.
Just so that's what I'm trying to do, man. And I'm gonna grind like hell to do it. So I ain't worried about it.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna show you something though.
All right, man. I'm gonna be waiting for it, man. If I don't see it, I'm gonna put you on blast, bro.
Oh, you ain't gonna. No, I'm gonna show you something.
I believe it.
got
You're an ambitious
Yeah,
person, so I believe you.
Yeah.
In finality, man, I asked this question here and there, but like, what kind of legacy are you pitching for, and do you want to leave behind on this world? Like, what's Alonzo? What's his mighty tales about? Like, after you're gone one day, and or maybe not even, somebody can build a living legacy, right?
Right.
So, what does that look like for you? What
Man,
what
my
do people
legacy
remember
want to
about
be
you?
that I was a generally good man. Love all people. I don't care what color you are. My best friend, when I was 6 years old, he stayed right across the street from me. Man, I used to go over to his house, spend the night, eat breakfast, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a people person.
Yeah.
And just helping people. That's what I'm gonna be. Just my legacy is to. I just wanted. Hey, this guy he tried to help. And would do anything. You can pick up the phone. Hey, so I need you. Can you help me? Yes. And I was a people person, man. You know, I love people. I can't help it. I guess that's why I'm doing this Uber thing. I get in a car with some people. Oh, you playing Eric Clapton? Let me give you a $20 tip. Oh,
sweet.
I was like, man, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to pop, I listen to jazz, I listen to rap. I mean, I like music. I like people. It's just me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if that's the case, man, I need to do Uber. Start listening to some music. So if you can get a $20 tip from listening to Clapton,
man, look, you can get more than that. Hey, drive on a Friday, Saturday night around these bars in Birmingham. Anything goes.
no, I don't know. That might get me in trouble.
It might. That's why I don't do it no more.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can tell you some tales about that.
Come
There'll
hang
be
out with
another
us.
show.
Yeah, come hang out. Let's have a drink. Smoke this joint. You know?
Yeah, come in the house.
My friend thinks you're really cute.
Yeah, you driving you driving down the road. All of a sudden, you got some girls in the car. Next thing you know, her hands on your shoulder.
Damn.
Oh my God, what's this?
What is it they said in 40-Year-Old Virgin? Broken heel, vomit in the hair. That's the kind of girls you want to look.
Nah, I just keep my hands on the road. I'm all about business.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. I just want to be my legacy to be known, man. I had a good heart and I cared about people, and I love my family, love my friends, and that's just who I am.
That's great, man.
Mhm.
I appreciate you coming on the show today, dude.
Man, I
Really,
loved
it's been
it,
great
man.
kind of catching up, man.
Boom.
High five.
Yeah.
I hope your surgery, your hip replacement goes really well.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome. And then when they do your knee,
Yeah.
you're just back at it, man.
Yeah,
Hitting
yeah,
the bricks.
yeah.
And feeling like $1 million. I'm sure you will.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody I've heard that has gotten those replacements, if it's good and you got a good orthopedic doctor behind you, I mean, you're like a brand new man or woman. Like, so.
I know.
I know you're
can't
looking
wait.
for it. It's like a kid looking for that new bicycle on Christmas.
It is nothing. People don't realize that if you're walking around dealing with a pain and a daily issue, it's very and like, let's talk, getting back to things we wrestle with. Wrestling with pain every day is hard.
Yeah, I bet.
And so you got to deal with the pain and deal with life. And some people don't realize, man, you can have a bad day and still have to deal with pain, or you can have a great day but you still hurting.
Yeah.
So that's one of the wrestling things of wrestling. That's another thing that I've been wrestling with, dealing with pain. And I don't, I'm not big about get on a lot of prescriptions because I seen what that can do to a person.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Dude, thanks again for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
I kicked it.
I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun doing this, dude.
I had to
For
come
your
back,
first
man.
outing, this was real good, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Seriously, you should start a sports podcast, though.
I've been told that, man. If I don't have the time, I don't know, man.
I'll support you if you ever do that, man.
Okay. Well, hey, maybe we can come get some ideas and come on something. You never know.
Yeah.
Things happen for a reason.
We can collab. We can brainstorm together. Whatever.
Right.
Put our heads together.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Had a really good old friend here from back in the day, big sports fan. We talked about sports and tragedies and families and also just being present, like being present and just being happy about what you do have. And, you know, not always necessarily looking for towards the future, which, I mean, it's good to have goals and stuff, but it's also good to live in the present moment and be happy in whatever circumstance you have, because there's always somebody out there worse than you. And for the people that have it the most worse, like the people that are living in legit poverty and torture and pain, I don't if they find something good to go to, I'm not sure what it is, but I can imagine it's groundbreaking. I don't want to be, you know, we've talked about a lot of this stuff, so it all kind of speaks for itself. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and for the video content, go to YouTube, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more content. We'd appreciate a review and just spreading the word out there.
Appreciate the review.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And what do you wrestle with and how can you beat it? One love.